Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's live. I am going to get straight into it. So if you're joining me live, please give me a thumbs up, a heart, say hello. And if you're joining the replay, please do the same and let me know, with any questions along the way, because even though this is a one-way Facebook Live, my commitment to you is to answer any questions and to help motivate and inspire you. Okay, so that you can actually improve your fitness journey with wherever you are at right now, to really work with your condition of underactive thyroid, Hashimoto's, or any other type of thyroid challenge. Work with your condition and respect your body and your condition whilst you're getting fit. Okay, so this is really my motivation for doing this live, because that's exactly what I did for myself. Not initially. I'm going to get into my story a little bit, because this is how I've gained the wisdom and understanding so that I can actually bring through some information for you guys, right? So today is all about transforming your fitness journey. So to conquering Hashimoto's or underactive thyroid with me. So you don't need to do exactly what I've done. It's not about that. It's not about, my way is the only way and the rest is the highway. Not about that at all. It's really about, fine tuning and really digging deep and searching into what you're trying to achieve with your fitness. How is that going to transpose into your everyday life? Yeah. So what is it that you're trying to achieve? I'm just going to give you some examples, and it might be all of the above, or it might be a few different ones, right? So just to give you an example, is it so that you can, play with your grandkids or play with your pets or animals, or actually, be able to sustain the energy throughout the day? Is it to give you more resilience with your work? You may have a physical workplace scenario, or or anything else, or is it to actually lose belly fat? That was my initial motivating factor. I had a physique and I just had this kind of belly fat, and I was really aware of it. And also when I started off in my running, because I used to be so active in my 20s, and when I started off in my running, I think it was around about 40, I was age 40, and I thought, oh wow, I'm kind of huffing and puffing here, and I couldn't remember that. It was something really strange to me, and I thought, how did that fitness go? And the thing is like whatever you gain, you'll lose probably doubly fast. Yeah. And having done a uni degree, and I don't know, I mean, if anyone knows my history, I used to work 3 jobs and totally overworked myself in the ground. And I had no time for leisure activity at that point in time, which actually helped my fitness level. Yeah. These days, I actually prioritize it. It's such an important high priority. I put such a strong boundary around my physical exercise. Nothing gets through that boundary. Yeah. The only thing that will get through that boundary, if I actually feel into my body and I know that I need a rest. That's when I'll go, you know what, I'm going to cancel my training tomorrow, not to do anything else, but to actually nurture and restore the harmony back into my body. And, it comes with second nature. I mean, to be quite honest, in the beginning, I actually fought with that notion quite a bit. And it was almost like, well, no, exercise needs to fit around what I do for my job, what I do for my career, family life, all of that. And it's about really feeling into, what do you really want in your life? How do you want to feel? Like for me, in terms of what I want in my life, how I feel is probably right up the top. Like if I don't feel good, I don't care. You can buy me any gift. You can buy me, I don't know, a BMW, not that I care about that, or you can, a fancy this or that, you can, anything like that, and it's just not going to have the impact at all. Like for me, it is all about. I just saw a reminder pop up. Am I early for this live training? Oh no, I think I'm on time. Am I on time, Shell? I think I'm on time. I know I am on time. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. Yeah, that's fine. I just getting back to priorities with fitness. No, I didn't just wake up one day and say, "Oh, I'm going to prioritize my fitness." It kind of became a way of being over time when I found that I was getting so much back for the effort that I was putting in. It's almost like you put in the effort and you get back double, triple, quadruple, and so much more. Yeah, and if you haven't experienced that that is my wish for you, is to really experience that and understand and feel into what physical fitness can really give back to you in life. It's not just about shedding kilos. It's not just about looking a certain way. In fact, that's probably my lowest priority right now, and has been for quite some time. Yeah. It's about how you feel and how it gives back to so many areas of your life, including, stress management, sleep management, just, your interaction with all the activities that you do in your life, what you're actually going to put into your body. It really makes you think about what you're going to put into your body, because why would you feed yourself food that's not optimal, if you know that you've got a training session the next day? Because if you want to get the best out of your training session, and those of you, and there are a couple of my past clients who are avid, they're right into their fitness, and they're going, they're doing their fitness every day, several days a week. I know one of my past clients has a very solid boundary around different areas of her fitness, and, they're doing extremely well. And the thing is until we actually come to terms with where the priority of fitness lies in our life and how we want to feel, that's when, things are really going to shift. Things are really, really going to shift. So for me, I found a passion for triathlons. I just love it. I'm an outdoors person at heart. I love getting amongst nature. On the day, it's always very, very exciting. There's so many different people, and there's a real kind of hum in the area, and, you've got people cheering you on. And it's really great camaraderie. And, look, at the end of the day, like, I know that I'm not doing it. I used to actually compete against myself. I completely shifted out of that mindset now. I don't compete against myself at all. I really just see it as a bit of a benchmark in terms of where I was at, and then I look at where I want to be, and it's not about comparison at all. It's about, well, is this serving me for what I want to do in my life right now? Am I able to walk up a hill without breaking a sweat or puffing at all? Am I able to, run with my little indie along the beach, throwing the ball and just, not exhausting myself at all, and I can come home and still do all of the activities? The answer to that is yes. Was that the case at the beginning? Probably not. Now, I wasn't an extremely unfit person. I would say I was average fitness. I used to go to the gym a couple of times a week, begrudgingly, because I'm just not a gym person, and I don't go to the gym. I only go to the gym once a week now for my personal training, with a which is structured. It's very, very structured, just to help with my bone mineral density and help with my muscle integrity and help support my core, just for the triathlon. So I actually do that element of training to support the triathlon training. Yeah. So, and in the beginning, I never did that. But now I can see the benefits of doing that. It just makes my life so much easier. It's like I can ride on the bike for a couple of hours and I don't get a backache, little things like that. And these are these things that I've picked up along the way from really, infusing myself into this way of being. And it all stemmed from the one emotion, and that was, getting passionate about something. Yeah. So this brings me to the first step with your physical fitness. Sometimes you need to actually try something and commit for a period of time to then decide whether you like it or not. Now, that was actually the case for me with my ocean swimming. I loved the ocean. I was extremely fearful. In fact, my very first ocean swimming, I did it with Can2. Can2 is a charity that raises funds for the University of Sydney, researchers for cancer and all of that. And at the time, I was really, felt really good, and I was really aligned, and that was kind of like a little catalyst for me to really get into this type of training. And it was good because I had the group support, I had mentors and all of that. So if you're in Sydney area, look up Can2. They pretty much only operate out of Sydney, and they are fantastic for all of the support that you would require. And when I started, I was fearful. I started with running. I always loved running. But honestly, I've still got the photo today of my very first half marathon, and I looked completely grey. It was like, I really, even though I did all the training, I was certainly not, I didn't finish well. And then I ended up getting a coach, and, that just changed everything, because now when I finish an event, I actually feel good. Like, I celebrate, like I jump up in the air and I can hug people. I'm not kind of like, sprawled out on the ground and feeling half ill for the next couple of days. I actually feel really amazing. So don't get me wrong, I still need my recovery, and I'll go through that in a moment, the recovery. However, just the event itself, because I put in the time and the effort, I know, like I've got an event this Sunday, and I know that I will feel amazing at the finish. I might come last, who cares? But I'm going to feel amazing at the finish. I'm not going to feel like I need to throw up or sleep for 10 days or something like that. Yeah, I know that I'm fit enough to do this endurance training event, and I'm not going to disturb my thyroid because I know my limits and I know my capacity, and I'm going to enjoy it, and it's going to be super fun. And then I'm going to know that I can do that. As a human being at the age of 52, I can actually do this amazing triathlon, which is, quite a big event. It's going to take me about 4.5 hours, roughly, to finish the event from start to finish. And I know that I'm going to finish really, really well. And that, to me, I've already won. Like, that to me is the number one important thing. So I put the effort and work in so that I can actually do the event and have fun along the way and finish it with a smile on my face. That's my number one goal. Anything else is a bonus, but that's my number one goal. Okay, so let me go back to where I was before. If you're here, say hello. Tell me that you're here. Oh, here we go. Oh, thanks, Bronnie. Yeah, not worried about dyeing my hair anymore. It's been over a year now, and it's very liberating. Okay, let's get back into this. Okay, so please ask any questions. Where are you at? Where are you at with your fitness? What are you doing? What would you like to achieve? Yeah, because I'm here to inspire and also to give you some tips. And if you're watching the replays, please do #replay, and please post your questions as well so I can get back to you. Okay, so this fitness journey, yeah, it's extremely personal. It's extremely personal. And I have to say, there are so many options, yeah, available. So it's about really pursuing something long enough to find your passion. So getting back to my original story, I started with half marathon training, and I did a couple of half marathons. And then I thought, well, actually, it wasn't me. It was some friends that I was with that I'd done that with. And then they said, come on, let's do ocean swimming. I couldn't swim. I could not swim a single lap of the 50-meter pool without having to stop and kind of cough and splutter and, try and catch my breath. I didn't learn swimming. We only learned so that we could save ourselves. That was pretty much it. I didn't do any swimming in my school age years. So I was kind of already behind. However, I just thought, there's this amazing support crew. What's the worst thing that can happen? I know that there are lifeguards and there's safety crew out there when we're going into the ocean. So all is good. One thing I loved is I love the ocean, but I was fearful. I was fearful of all the creatures in the ocean and all of that. All I can say now is it is my absolute favorite out of the 3 disciplines. It's probably the one that I'm the worst at. I'm generally come out of the water like one of the last in the pod to come out, and I don't really care. However, I could swim in the ocean by myself and I am not worried. I'm totally at peace with all of the creatures in the ocean. I've seen lots of beautiful fish. I've seen some sharks, the harmless ones that don't have any teeth. And I've seen many, many stingrays and beautiful octopus and just lots and lots of things. And it just really, I don't know, it's like there's an amazing amount of serenity when you're under the ocean because you can't hear anything except for just the bubbles. And I just go into a meditation. I just go like I'm swimming and I'm just like my mind gets to go really quiet and still. And when I come out of the water, I feel absolutely amazing, and I'm not telling you to go and swim in the ocean, and you may not like the ocean, you may not live anywhere near the ocean, but if it's something that you've just often thought, oh, I don't know, I'm unsure, just get with a support crew, and just get a swimming buddy or a swimming group or link with a swimming group because that's what's going to build your confidence. And consistency is key to any discipline. So when I first started my swimming journey, I just had to be persistent. So I think I did the 2 runs with Can2, and then the next, I know there's several Can2 sessions a year. The swimming is generally over summer, and I think I just stayed with them for the next 3 or 4 years, and I did every swim session because and at one point I thought, do I really, really like this? I'm getting a stiff neck and I'm really fearful and all of the things. But I just thought, you know what, there's something in it. I just felt in my heart that there was something in it for me. And I thought that I just needed to persist and just allow some space and time to really give it a proper go. And then I thought to myself, you know what, if I don't like it in 1 year, if I'm not at least 50% more excited about getting in the water in 1 year from now, I'm just going to let it go, right? However, something shifted, suddenly I wasn't getting any neck pain, I was swimming enough so that it improved my cardiovascular fitness. And then I realized that the swimming cardiovascular fitness actually transfers to running and walking, and it doesn't actually happen the other way around, unfortunately. So if you're a runner or if you walk and do, if you walk, it doesn't, that type of cardiovascular fitness doesn't transfer into swimming as efficiently. However, when you swim, I think it's something to do with the timing and the breathing and, the rhythm. It really expands your lung capacity. And, these days, like I remember at the beginning, I think I could do 2 strokes. I had to do 3 quick strokes to be able to, before I ran out of breath and I was like gasping for air. Now I think I can do 6 or sometimes even up to 8 strokes before I actually need to get a breath. Now I don't do that all the time, but every now and then I think, you know what, I don't need a breath, and I just keep going and I think, oh yeah, then I get a gentle breath. And that type of expansion of my lung capacity and fitness and heart rhythm has actually transferred into my running and all other areas of my fitness. And in fact, I rarely go to the GP, but about 6 months ago, I just had a weird episode. I had some sort of allergic mad reaction and I went to the GP. Anyway, just they checked my blood pressure and I said, oh, how's my blood pressure? And he said, it's you've got the blood pressure of a 17-year-old. And I thought, oh, that's amazing, So it was really, really great blood pressure, like a really strong rhythmic heart. And, that's what you want, right? Because like, I know that moving on from now, I'm at the level of fitness that if something happened to me, like if I got really sick, if I was in, like no one ever wants anything to happen to them. But if something happened, or if something happened to a dear family member, or if, anything, I don't know, if there was a natural disaster, I know that I've got the fitness and the resilience to probably, cope. Yeah, probably cope quite well. Because that's the other area I wanted to talk about. When you're at that level of fitness, and don't get me wrong, like I'm not Ironman fitness or anything like that, but I'm just probably the fittest I've ever been in my whole entire life. And that is fantastic, right? So when you have that level of fitness, it just transfers to, it's a muscle, right? So it's obviously a physical muscle, but it transfers into confidence of doing things physically, but also emotionally and mentally, because sometimes in the past, if I've kind of like way back, I used to be an extremely anxious young woman. I would, allow things to envelope me, and look, there's no surprise it probably is what actually pushed me into that whole picture of getting the Hashimoto's, etc. However, these days, I just listen to my heart, listen to my breath, and I just know that I'm strong and fit and resilient. And I don't know, I don't seem to get worried about things. I just know that things always turn out. Maybe there's a bit of level of maturity and emotional maturity with that as well. But I do know that the physical fitness definitely plays a part in other areas of your life. So, for example, excuse me, when I, for sleep at night, I have a really sound sleep, and I have done for years, and more so since, doing my regular training. Because if you're really working your body in a beautiful way, and, you're really, it's actually a de-stressor for your whole nervous system, helps your nervous system recalibrate, and all of those things. It allows you to have a really sound sleep at night. Yeah, especially if you've got a sit-down job during the day. If you've got a physically active job, you might want to modify your exercise slightly until you build the fitness and resilience, and then you can just continue to go. Yeah. Okay, so I feel like I'm just kind of going off into the end picture. I'm just gonna, okay, no questions. So let me just bring it back. So, okay, let's say you don't have the level of fitness that you want, and you're wondering where to start. Okay, let me just think back. Okay, so you need to start with a really short session somewhere within the day that it's not going to be cancelled, So feel into whether that's going to be the early morning for you. It might be a lunchtime break, or it might be in the evening, but find a block of time. And you know what? I would just start with half an hour, 30 minutes. And, it might be just a walk around the block, or it might be a run, or it might be going to the gym if that inspires you, but just something, and do it every day. Do it every day. And I will say that whilst you're building your fitness, you may need a little nap during the day. That doesn't mean that your thyroid is cactus and, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing the exercise because of your thyroid condition. It just means that your body has not built the capacity. Your body hasn't built the fitness. Okay. So am I saying to go and run 10Ks with a thyroid condition without prior training? Absolutely not. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that we need to start small and then compound. And if you're like me, and if you get interested and you want to gain a level of fitness that's actually way above where you're at this point in time, I highly recommend that you get a coach, because and a coach that actually understands your health picture and understands, you might need to educate them on your health picture, but just is very understanding, so that they know not to really push you, because you don't want to be pushed beyond your capacity. You want to be just maybe giving yourself a little nudge, so that you can stretch a little bit, maybe every second or third day, and then you come back to base on the other days. And here's the other thing that could be very, very supportive. You may benefit from a supplementary protocol just to help support you while you're gaining that level of fitness, okay? So for me, I always, being a naturopath, of course, I had this, you know, of course, I'm going to use my tools. I used an adaptogenic mix. I'll generally put some immune modulation support in there, such as echinacea, and some beautiful adaptogens like the ginseng family, and some other anti-inflammatories, just to help support my body while it was attaining that level of fitness. And if that's something that you feel that would be beneficial for you, I'd like you to just type in transition supplements. Yeah, clearly, yes, we would need to have a naturopathic session. I can't just whip up any supplementary protocol. However, when I get a clear understanding of what's going on for you in your body, I can tailor a herbal medicine mix, or a supplementary protocol. I generally use the herbs because they're so gentle. They're very subtle, gentle, but powerful, and they don't just kind of lock onto any one receptor. They're very holistic in the way that they work in the body, and that could be all you need. The other thing is you may need, to do some preliminary testing just to kind of check the levels, just to check what your iron is like. Like way back, my iron naturally dumps. A lot of people with Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism tend to have low iron. So it's really, really interesting about that. And it's important to ensure that you're repleting your iron through your foods, but also if you have bottomed out and you're wondering why you're tired, that could be the reason. Yeah. Apart from your thyroid being a bit funky, it could be the reason. Yeah. And then also just ensuring that your thyroid is being well supported. So, that you've got a healthy level of T4. This is whether you're on medication or not. Okay. So even if you're on medication and you're not actually feeling fit or vibrant, or you're unable to even start, it may be that your T4 isn't converting very well to T3, or it may be that you've got too much inflammation in your body and your cell membranes are inflamed. So, or it could be that your liver is not working at full capacity, or your digestive system is a little bit under par. I mean, look, there are so many areas to look at. If you're curious about the link between your digestive system and thyroid, have a look in the live trainings, have a look in the thyroid diaries. I've done numerous live trainings about that. Or if you want us to, send that to you so that you've got it there on hand, just write digestive system. And what we'll do is we'll send you a live training so that you can really get into learning more about that link. And if any of those signs and symptoms are true for you, absolutely, you're very welcome to get in touch so that I can help you there. All right. So the other thing I wanted to say is, if you've dabbled here and there, you're going to the gym, you might be doing a yoga session, you might be doing Pilates, and you haven't really got that level of confidence and passion through that level of activity, and it's easy for you to cancel out of your schedule. You might wake up and go, oh no, I don't really feel like doing that, and you just cancel it. Like if that's happening more than say 20% of the time, I feel that probably it would be worth having a look at looking at getting some support in your physicality, like your energy networks, looking at supporting your digestive system so that you've got that up and go, maybe some mindset and emotional work to help clear that block so that you've got a clear way and you've actually, you've got that enthusiasm back. Yeah, it might be about exploring different ways that are going to be right for you, because once you hook onto something that you really love and you have that passion for it, it's exciting. Like I look at my week and I go, oh wow, okay, I've got to run today and I've got to bike on that day and I've got to swim on that day. And as I said, everything else comes around it because I know how important the fitness and the training is for my life. And the reason why I have a goal event is because, I don't know, it just keeps me on track. Like I've got an event this weekend and I cannot wait. And yes, am I going to have a break afterwards? Of course I'm going to have a break. I'm not a machine. I'll probably have a couple of weeks break and then I'll just build, I'll continue my base training. So there is such a thing as base training fitness compared to event fitness. Yeah, so event fitness, you're building up, and then you want to be in your prime time. That's with any sport. The tennis players, they are at their peak. They want to be at their peak for the actual event. Well, it's the same with triathlon. You want to be at your peak. And I think I'm at my peak. I mean, it's too late now. I can't do any more. So I'm having a rest week this week, just doing a little bit of tapering. And then I've got the big event on Sunday. And then after that, I will have a little rest and then I will just do what's called a base training, just so that my fitness doesn't drop to an all-time low, because as a human being, we need to ebb and flow with our fitness. I can't, it would be unwise to continue at the same capacity as you've been doing, because our bodies do need a nice rest to recalibrate. You might want to do something different and then you go again to another goal event. Yeah. And I'm telling you now, it's not about age. Age is just a number, as I have said, and I've always maintained, my excitement each year is to get that little bit fitter than I was before and feeling that little bit stronger and actually feeling great. Yeah. So don't let your thyroid get in the way of you and your goals. Yeah. With proper management, understanding and planning, and really understanding your body on such an intimate level so that you're not afraid of it, so that you can actually go and pursue your passion without any fear, because fear will always hold us back. And, it's just make believe. Fear is just make believe anyway. Yeah, it just means that you're needing some support. So with that being said, if you're wanting a plan, whether you're watching the replay or here now, if you're wanting a plan or just to have a chat, just type plan and we can connect so that I can help you get a plan going, which may actually be a little bit of an assessment to see where you're at, see what's going on with your thyroid, and you might need a little bit of a tweak in your supplements. If you've already got supplements, you may need a tweak in your medication, which is something I can support with a letter to your GP to actually help your body work at its optimum level, and then a plan of action with your exercise. Yeah, I'm not a fitness trainer, but I can certainly help you plan to get started and help you with, getting, the right team around you, because it's about having a team, yeah, like a support network. All right, well, I hope you found this inspiring. And, I actually put before I go, we put a little poll up in the chat. Shell, I'll get you to pin that to the top. If you're listening to this live, please go to the poll and just pick what applies to you. I'd love to know. It's really, really interesting to see. At the moment, most people that have voted go to the gym. Yeah, and then from that poll, I just want to disseminate, what people are doing and what you're doing to help yourself and your fitness with your thyroid condition. Yeah. Or you may not have a thyroid condition. You may be in this group for some other issue, and that's completely fine as well. Because, it's really, really interesting, and I really love to get to know what people are doing and the reasons why. Because one thing I will say about resistance training in the gym is it's extremely important for our bone mineral density, especially for us ladies over 50. In fact, I would say over 40, especially for us ladies over 40. just to help with our bone mineral density. Osteoporosis is extremely common, and it's something we really need to work at from an early age. And if anyone's really unsure of how to maintain capacity with their bones during their lifetime and their life stage, from a nutritional standpoint, just write bones, and I'll do a live training on that because it's so important. And it's actually an epidemic, and unfortunately with the new generations coming through, they're just not doing as much activity as what Generation X have done, if I can generalize. Just with the technology, with the iPads and the games, and there's more TV and all of that, and there's just not as much tree climbing and falling over in the yard and all that type of stuff. And it's actually tipped to be an epidemic of these younger generations coming through as well, and that is osteoporosis, and otherwise known as brittle bone disease. So really, really important. And let me know. I'm here to help. All right, that's it from me. I will look forward to answering any questions, and see you next time. Bye for now.